Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I think I have a solution to your Pam problem.
What is that from? Pam. That's a commercial, isn't it?
No. That is Step Brothers.
No. Oh, yikes. Yeah, yes. It's when they're interviewing. Yes.
Yeah.
I should know that. Who'd you say I look like?
I said.
Yeah. His wife said you look like Baker Mayfield today.
He is one of the best looking guys in the NFL. So thank you very much,
dude.
I wouldn't know. I'm a dude.
Yeah, you can still say other dudes.
You can still say dudes look good.
Yeah.
Well, you look good, dude.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
but Baker Mayfield isn't the best looking dude in football.
I didn't say best. I said one of the best looking guys in football. The best looking guy in football is Gardner Minshew, and that's no question.
Dude, no, man. That's just because he's a Coug and you have bias. And he's not afraid to grow a mustache.
No. It's maybe biased. Sure, you can call it what you want, but Minshew, he is just objectively, Max, isn't your favorite word in the world. Objectively, he is the best looking guy. I mean, nobody pulls off jean shorts and a mullet with a stash like that guy.
What does he call it?
He got what was this company? It wasn't like a porn company. Maybe it was actually. They offered him a contract, but his mom, Mrs. Minshew, said they couldn't do whatever they were asking. Yeah, his mom was like, "No, you're not doing porn." Essentially, it was like, do you guys remember what the name of it was? Zwiefel, do you remember?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Gardner Minshew turns down porn opportunity. Let's see, maybe it was like UJIS or something. I don't know. Like I hate to. Oh no, it was. It will
say. I mean, at the end of the day, it is pretty subjective. So
subjective.
Yeah, that's saying Gardner Minshew is one of the best looking football players.
Cam Soda was what it was. Yeah, Cam Soda wanted him to like just do workout videos in like a jock strap. I don't know. It was pretty.
Oh
weird. Wow. Yeah, they offered him $1 million to do it.
You got to do that.
Jeez.
His mom said no. His mom said he couldn't. So I mean, Gardner Minshew is he's a mama's boy. And
are we rolling right now? Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
We're rolling. Let's get back on topic.
Hey, Manor fans! So welcome back to
wait.
episode.
Can I just throw in one more thing since we're on football?
Yeah, throw in one more thing.
Soba and I have done a couple fantasy drafts.
Yes.
And
you've done fantasy for him.
Yeah,
I helped with yesterday's.
He turned to his boy, because he knows I'm the fantasy king. You know who I got him? I got him Gus Edwards. Threw him right in the RB2 spot. We're gonna go Najee Harris. We got some good. We got a tight end. We got a boy named Travis Kelce. It looks good. I think we were probably gonna take this home.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it, and the rest of the league is mad because I've been in this league for a while. I won it 1 year. I just drafted really well that year. Every other year, I'm like in place for Sacco. But the punishment for our league, in both the leagues I'm in, I came up with the punishment. And the last place winner gets to do stand-up comedy at a show. Ooh. Or at So last place.
That's a good one.
If we lose, we have to go do stand-up comedy at some comedy place in Seattle. We won't lose, but we'll get to watch somebody do stand-up comedy. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Really good.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. What's the best fantasy football punishment you've ever been a part of?
So we don't have it I don't know. And I've kind of been against those weird punishments, but that's a really good one. So I would like that. But the best that people have come up with is some stupid stuff go to the grocery store and buy a cucumber with a bunch of condoms and then some jelly, and it's no, dude, that's stupid.
Goodness.
What?
Do what with for 5 seconds, and that's not gonna play.
What do they do with the cucumber and condoms and jelly?
It's to see the cashier's reaction, be what are you doing here?
That's
not even funny. I think it's lame. I'm saying it's lame. But I love that you guys call it the Sacco too. That's from the league, right?
Oh, of course it's from the league. Yeah.
I've never seen it, which is wild.
You've never seen the league?
No.
Dude, that's from what I know about you, that would be right up your
says.
alley.
Everyone says the same thing. They're how have you never seen the league of all people?
Yeah, that's crazy. That blows my mind, wife.
But anyways, enough with this fantasy football talk. I'm really excited to just kind of get you guys' feel for the week because it's a very confusing week. I mean, we went 3-3 since the last episode. We took 2 from the Athletics on the road. Took 6 of 8 on the road. So that's kind of where I like to split it. And I'm going to split it on, I'm not going to talk about like the last week's podcast and these last 6 games. It's like, no, we went 6 and 8 on the road. We came home and crapped the bed. I'm really happy that we got this one. Almost got swept by the old Royals there. But they were some pretty gnarly games. I mean, we were up 5-1 in the first game. Grand slam by Salvador Perez ties it. Up 4-0 in the second game, or 4-1, and then he hits a grand slam and they take the lead. I might have those reversed, but
I was at both of those games.
Yeah,
I was at the first one. Yeah, that was
Salvi Perez is nasty. Dude. 17 homers since the All-Star break. He's going on.
I think he's the one. He's the one hitter that has more home runs since the All-Star break than Kyle Seager.
Yeah, Kyle Seager's got 15 now.
15,
is today. Yeah. He had 12 ribbies in that 4-game stretch against the Mariners.
Yeah, I got it right here. He batted 7 for 21, good for a 333 batting average, but 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, as you said, but 2 of those were grand slams. And the single he got today that drove in the run after he hit a home run earlier today, it went off the wall, the top of the wall. So it was almost another home run, and it would have been a game-tying home run. The guy has hit a home run in 5 straight games. So even before our series, he hit one against the Astros. So, I mean, now I'm kind of rooting for him. Now that he's out of here, okay, go hit some more home runs and break that record. I think Junior has the record with 8 days in a row.
He does have it with 8 days in a row. Joey Votto.
Joey Votto, yeah.
Yeah, he had 7 in a row, and then the 8th game he hit it was like a double off the right below the yellow line on one of the fences. So he almost
this year.
Yeah, it was this year. He almost made it.
This was like a month ago.
This was very recently. Yeah, Joey Votto. And it was funny because, when we talked with like Andy McKay and he's like, don't have any like thought of wanting when you're a batter in the batter's box. It's like, don't try and think that you're going to hit a home run and just try and think of nothing. But I was listening to an interview with Joey Votto and Joey's like, yo, I am going up trying to hit home runs right now. He goes, there's no question about it. I am trying to hit bombs. And I'm like, dude, what a savage, man. Like that's got to be so hard to do. You hear baseball players talking about like when they hit homers, they never mean to hit them. But then you got Joey Votto going up like, no, I'm going to try and hit a bomb right here. And he did it. He does it. It's like, that's crazy. But dude, to go back to Salvi Perez, maybe like I was like really annoyed, obviously after the second grand slam. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, this guy's so good. Like we're watching some good baseball. Like it is unfortunately going against us.
Right.
But we're seeing this guy just like he's old, but he's still doing his thing. And I had to appreciate that a little bit.
Tip of the cap to him.
Tip of the cap as a baseball person would say.
Back-to-back games with grand slams is one thing, but like how important they were too. They were down 3 runs in one of them. He hits a grand slam to take the lead. They're down 4 runs in the other one. And he hits it to tie the game. Like, dude, come on. That's like, I mean, that is the most clutch thing I can think of. That is just awesome. And then in today's game, he hits a home run and he almost hits another one. And he hit 4 in the series. So
yeah.
Just a tip of the cap to the old catcher there in Kansas City. Marco today was great again. And that was the win we needed. We almost got swept in a 4-game. It's not helping that the Red Sox have won 5 of their last 6, and I think they're on their way to winning today. They're up by 1 against the Indians. But yeah, it's just a really bad time to lose 3 out of 4 to a team like Kansas City. But again, they are hot right now.
Yeah, their overall record shows that they suck. I do not know what their numbers are recently. I do know that they're pretty good. And then recently, I think like the last like month or so that they've been playing some pretty good baseball. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. And we really need, it's going to be tough coming up. Playing against Houston again.
Let's go. Indians are up 7-5, top 9.
Oh, wow. Cleveland, the land, baby.
I got to see what happened here.
So it stands, while you're checking that, as it stands, we're coming at you 5 games back from Boston, right? So, and that's after the win today. On top of Marco, right? Marco seems to be going back into his expected form. The one thing, the game that I went, the first game of the Royals series this week, I was also there in the outfield where Chris filmed me against my will. But
if you fall, it was not against your will. I texted you, said, "Hey, stand up, I'm gonna film you." And we were sections, and he was up on the higher sections, and our boy Heartbeat Hobbs, he helped me out again with some tickets. Appreciate you, Zach. But I saw Max texted me, goes, "Yo, I think I see you bobbing your head to Louie," and I was bobbing my head to Louie, of course,
like he always does,
like I always do. And and I see him just dancing up there, pointing at me, and I'm like, "Yo, stay dancing." And I filmed him, and I thought that was pretty funny for y'all who follow our Instagram account.
That was how a game that you say was throwing a gem up into the 5th inning. And, we're all thinking to ourselves, okay, what we got a 4-0 lead. You say is on tonight. I think this is a great start to the series. I think we're definitely going to take at least 3 out of 4. And then all of a sudden I go to the bathroom, and one of the buddies of mine that I was with at the game comes into is standing in the urinal next to me, and I go, "How much you want to?" We heard over the radio in the bathroom, Goldie was saying that there's bases loaded, 2 outs, and I said, "Yo, what are the odds that Salvi just hits a grand slam right now?"
Yeah.
And then without even hearing anything, I go down to the next beer vendor, and I'm in line to get a beer, and I just hear everyone groan, and I look on the field, and I just see Salvador Perez taking his sweet time rounding the bases. And at that point, I just got really angry because, going back to kind of how this is really just not what we needed these past 4 days, given that we were in striking distance. That's not to say that you can count us out yet, but it just makes it so much more difficult when we come down the final stretch of this season.
They're blown opportunities where there's a limited amount of games left, and if you have the lead in a game 5-1 or 4-0 and you end up losing that game, not to mention on back-to-back nights, I mean, that's crushing. And then we lose the next game. The next game was with Gilbert, and it goes 12 innings, and I mean, can't get a bunt down with Fraley. That would have won the game, or not won the game, but pushed the runner over, and then we are in a lot better spot to win the game. That game was probably almost, to me, just as frustrating as the first 2. It's just I can't remember exactly everything that happened in that game, but just a lot of blown opportunities.
Totally.
Yeah. So I mean, like we said from the last podcast, we're 3-3, which isn't horrible. It's 500, and you can stay in a playoff race if you're staying 500 playing 500 baseball. But I mean, the way we lost those games is really the story of the week.
Totally. Yeah.
The story of the story of today, obviously Mark going off, but the guy didn't expect to be making plays. Jake Bowers, he made some plays in the outfield today, dude. I didn't. Man. You don't think that he's capable of some of this stuff, but then he just surprises me twice. Maybe it was 3 times today. I don't know, but his fielding looks great. So hats off to you, JB.
It was in the 8th and the 9th inning.
Clutch moments.
Yeah, very clutch moments. I mean, the 8th inning catch, he overruns the ball and then reaches back for it. And if that ball gets behind him, as slow as Salvador Perez is on first, he was halfway to second, and that ball probably goes all the way to the wall. I think he probably scores, and that's a tie game. So you can say he saved us a run with that. And then in the 9th inning, you just don't know what's going to happen if there's 1 out and that ball drops and they get a guy on first. And then, maybe Steckenrider, that run comes around and scores. So those are huge plays. He almost gets my player of the game, but I'm going to give it to Marco. I want to go over some Marco stats here. 1.60 ERA in August. Opponents hitting just 184. He's got his ERA back to almost the threes. I think it's at like 4.01.
How many appearances in August?
6. So
wow.
Yeah, and they threw up a graphic of the best ERAs for the Mariners in August, and Felix in 2010 and 2012 was like a .086, and then like a 1.0, and then Marco's coming in at third with a 1.60 ERA. So he's figured it out, and it's gotten to the point where if he's on the mound, like I saw today before the game, I'm like, we're 0-3, but I wouldn't want anyone else on the mound today other than Marco. So, I mean, that's awesome that we can feel that way again.
Well, it's just, and it's easy to complain about these things, right? But once Marco starts feeling himself again, right, with dad strength or whatever, yeah, right? Himself. So, but what I'm saying is now that Marco has started feeling himself, at what cost, right? And now we're looking at Yusei Kikuchi, who, is going downhill again. Or not again, but, for the first time this season over the past month. And in order to really have a fighting chance, right, we need these two guys to both be on their game. Do you guys have any kind of thoughts on how Yusei better himself? Like, I mean, what are we missing out on? Have we heard anything through the grapevine?
Soba, you could take it, but I just want to throw in that he's always dealt with a confidence issue, in my opinion. It's like the pitching coaches and the staff have always had to like try to convince him your stuff is good enough. It plays up here. Just throw the ball over the strike zone. And he does it. He does it really well for the first 4 innings. And then he nitpicks and like he loads the bases. Look what happens when you walk people, or look what happens when you're not confident with your stuff and going just first pitch fastball, get the first pitch over, go 0-1 on the batter. Instead, he's nitpicking, and he ended up, loading the bases, and then obviously Salvador Perez comes up and hits that home run. But yeah, Soba, you probably have a thought on Kikuchi as well.
I think you said it pretty well. He's always kind of had that, maybe like, I don't want to call it an issue with his confidence, but it's sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. Like we've seen his emotional reactions on the field when he is playing well.
Yeah.
And he gets very, you could see his emotion easily. But he also may be getting tired. I don't know. With us only going with 5 pitchers now, and he's been used to 6 when he wasn't playing in the MLB and when he has been with the Mariners, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe it's a confidence issue. He's running out of some steam. I think you kind of wrap that one up pretty good there.
Yeah.
This might be a good segue into our biggest guest that we've ever had.
Well, real quick, I did want to touch on, you talked about Marco being in like clutch situations, which it came out earlier this week for Fangraphs. They measure the most clutch teams of all time. They have a measurement how well a team performs. Yeah, so Fangraphs, they measure how well a team performs in high leverage situations using the clutch metric. Seattle Mariners 2021 are the number 1 clutch team in all of history. And I did a little bit of research to see the teams below us and where they finished when they were the most clutch.
Sorry, Chris, before you go into that stat, by all history, we're talking since the year of 1918, correct?
Since they started measuring it, or when they can go
which
back,
is
1974.
Oh, 74. I thought you said
19,
okay. And the Mariners became around 77. So
okay,
the relevance here.
So it's the 2021 Mariners team as number 1, and then number 2 is the 2016 Rangers, and then 3 is the 1990 White Sox, 4 is the 2010 Astros, and the last of the top 5 is the 2008 Angels. So right now, in 2021, the most clutch team of all time, according to Fangraphs, we're sitting at a record of 70-61. I went to go look into what the other 4 teams finished when they were the most clutch teams in history. The Rangers, they finished their year at the 2016 Rangers. They finished their year at 95 wins and 67 losses. In the White Sox in 1990, they were the 3rd best most clutch team, and they finished at 94 and 68. 2010 Astros, who are the fourth most clutch team, they finished at 76 and 86, but the 2008 Angels finished at 162. And so 3 of the 4 teams finished with a record this year that would most likely get us to the playoffs. And so just kind of looking at it from that perspective, if we can continue staying this most clutch team in these high leverage situations, which we weren't like that this series against Kansas City, but if we can turn that around, based off of this little sample size, maybe the Mariners could still get to the playoffs. We'll see. But I just kind of thought that was.
I don't think we're getting to 90 wins. That would mean.
Well, I was going to say if we want to go 25 and 5, which would be sweet.
I'm down for that, but all right. Look.
When you look at it like that, that's a tall mountain to climb. I didn't look at
it is an incredibly tall mountain, but it does get like any sort of crumb of hope. I'm naturally willing to cling on to, but look, we've said a lot of bad news early on in this podcast, which fortunately we have some really great news because we landed a very important future Mariner that hopefully will become a household name in the next handful of years.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be a perennial all-star.
Mr. Soba used his sales skills and outreach skills to land Mr. Julio Rodriguez, only the number 2 MLB prospect for the year of 2021. And that's, again, in the entire majors, obviously the Mariners' number 1 prospect. By all accounts, it sounds like we're going to bring him on the actual squad next year in the 2022 season, but we landed him and we had a conversation with him and it went really well. Anyone else want to preface our conversation?
Yeah, no, man, it was just great. It was great. Julio was being Julio. The dude is just charismatic and just very much himself, and he was extremely easy to talk with. And he just seems extremely excited about what the Mariners have going on and where he sees the organization going. He describes to us how everybody in the organization is reaching and trying to achieve the common goal of breaking the 20-year drought. They recognize it and they use it not as pressure, but as motivation. And it was just really interesting to hear his thoughts on that, his thoughts on a lot of other stuff. We had some good talks about, who knows, maybe he's going to come on our softball team next year and help us win a championship. We'll find out in the interview. Yeah, but that's kind of all I had.
That would be so amazing.
Dude, if we got a guest celebrity appearance from J-Rod, that'd be so sick. But yeah, that's kind of what a little summary of it. But coming up next is Monday Mojo sitting down with Julio Rodriguez. Hey, Julio, what's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Really good. What about you guys?
Doing good, man. We got one of the most exciting prospects in all of MLB on our podcast, man. I don't think we could be doing much better.
Let's go.
Yeah, really appreciate you hopping on, man. Just really excited to talk with you, get to know you a little bit more, just to learn about you and kind of pick your brain on baseball a little bit. But yeah, man, I know Max, he kind of had an initial question for you. Wanted to start that off, Max. I'll let you kick it.
Yeah. Julio, thanks for being here, man. The first question I had before we actually get in the weeds, right, for Mariners baseball is you just came back from Tokyo. And we want to know more about that. Obviously, congrats on the bronze medal. That's huge. But
thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. What was it like? What were some of your favorite parts about being there? And you're playing with some big names, Melky Cabrera and Jose Bautista. Walk us through that. What was that like?
To be honest, it was a great experience. But my favorite part, I would normally say, was winning for the Dominican Republic, though. Like being able to go there and actually bring something back for my country besides experience, it's always really good to win for them. So, and being with them around Jose Bautista and Melky Cabrera and guys like that, Emilio Bonifacio, Juan Francisco, a lot of guys I'm really big into Dominican baseball and stuff like that. It was actually really, really good. I learned a lot from them, from the baseball standpoint, how to actually do things right. So it was a great experience just being around those guys and actually see what it actually takes to be actually in the league in this sport.
Yep. Because at some point, right, you want to be a leader just like them. So, and that's what we're hoping and praying for as well.
I'm kind of curious, Julio, like future plans for you. And I know there's like a lot of Dominican Republic players. They always try and do something back in the Dominican Republic within baseball. What kind of plans have you thought of to try and do to give back to that community back there with the experience you're going to be gaining?
Definitely like starting with my hometown. Like we've been thinking about it, we're talking about it, just like kind of like give back to my hometown because I know there's a lot of kids that are in needs over there. And like that at some point they were like me, you know, like trying to make it out, like trying to chase the dream, but they might not be able to get the best support possible where they are right now. So I feel like giving back to those kids out there and like actually like share some of my knowledge that I have gained like by being around all these big guys. I feel like it will be really cool. But I'm gonna start in my hometown for sure.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious. Mariano Rivera, I forget where he's from, but I remember his story of the first glove he ever had, which is like he used like a piece of cardboard. You ever heard that story?
I mean, I haven't heard the story, but I have definitely used the cardboard glove though.
What's that like, man?
I mean, you kind of like just cut it. Like there's like a cardboard, right? So you bend it and like kind of like cut it, and like you put your fingers out like that. So you basically have the cardboard here and some part of your hand too. So you gotta grab it like that.
Wow.
That's got to kill your palm if you get a stinger.
I know.
Hey, what's up, Julio? I just want to ask you, my question was about the whole international signing process. So we know the Mariners signed you straight out of the Dominican Republic, but can you kind of walk us through like what that signing process is like? Like, were there other teams that you were thinking about signing with, or like, did you make a good relationship with the Mariners so you ended up signing with us, or what does that even look like?
It was definitely like a few teams that they were interested in, like kind of like have the same price or whatever. But whenever I visited the Mariners, I did tryouts for them and kind of like got involved with the people from the complex and like the organization. I felt like really comfortable with them. I felt like that the Mariners were somewhere like that I could be myself. Because that's something that I really like. I really like being able to enjoy the game and like do the things the way I like to do. And I feel like with the Mariners, like as soon as I did tryouts with them, like kind of like was hanging around them, like I felt like a good vibe. So like whenever like my the guy that was with me over there, like he told me that I feel like the Mariners are the ones that are gonna sign you. I was like, man, like I'll be really interested in that because like whenever I went to the complex, I really felt that I could develop here.
Did the Yankees come calling, or were there any other teams that you're thinking about?
I'm not gonna.
Good man, you passed the test.
I'm not gonna give more details into that, but like the Mariners definitely were.
No, you passed the test. Good job.
Yeah, well, Julio, I kind of want to expand on that. So you came to the Mariners right when you were 18 years old. Is that correct?
No, 16.
16. Okay, so even younger.
Jesus,
so
man.
You've been with this organization now for a while. So can you just talk about like your development as a baseball player on and off the field, what your relationship like is with Andy McKay and just that organization in general? What's gotten you to this point, you know?
To be honest, like I have learned a lot. Like I have learned a lot because, as you said, with Andy McKay, he always like thinks outside of the box, you know, like. And he always focuses on the things that are important. So, like, every time we get together, we always talk about productive stuff. Like, how can I focus on the right thing? Like, how can I be better? Like, what do I need to do to keep getting better? You know, because there's always room to get better. There doesn't matter what level you are. Even, like, let's say my Trout, guys like that, they definitely have still room to get better. So, every time I talk to Andy or, like, people like that in the organization, there's always that talk. How can we become better? What can we do to be better? So that I would say constant improvement. So with the organization, man, I'm actually really happy because they always support me in everything that I want to do. We're always on the same page. There's not like back and forth or anything. You just always like going the same page because they want the same thing I want. I want to get better. They want me to get better. At the end of the day, that's what we all want. So it's really good, man. I really like it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love that. And I got a question about one of your teammates. And I feel like he's kind of flying under the radar a little bit more, but he had a nasty night on the mound last night, Matt Brash. and his slider is looking
Brashy.
disgustingly good.
Brashy.
What do you got on that guy?
I mean, that's my guy. Like, Brashy, I'm like, I was talking to some of the players from the other team. Like, they wouldn't tell me, but I was like, yo, what do they tell you guys whenever you guys are facing Brash or something like that? And like literally, like every time I watch you like pitch all the time, like I actually enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like just I mean that I feel like I'm definitely playing defense, but at the same time I appreciate him pitch. Like he's actually really good. He's next to me in my locker, so I'm always like talking to him and stuff, like messing around with him. I actually tell him every single time, yo, are you gonna hit 100 for me today, please?
He got close last night. Last night.
I mean, he's always sitting at 98 though, but I've seen him hit 100 a couple times. Not a couple times, couple outings, like not just one time, but down ever and like I've seen like actually hit 100. So it's pretty cool every time I see him pitch, it's actually pretty cool. I feel like he's somebody that is being really, really, really underrated in your farm system. I feel like he can be up there against with anybody, to be honest. That is like top prospect pitching or whatever. I feel like he's up there with anybody right now in the way that he's doing things.
Yeah, I saw just that video, man, of his slider was going around Twitter last night. And I'm just thinking it looks like a wiffle ball, man. Like, how does somebody try and hit that?
It's not. It doesn't look fun for the other team, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie to
you. No, it does not.
I enjoy it. I don't know about them.
It's got to make your job in the outfield a little bit easier, too.
Yeah, you got to stay locked in, though.
Yeah.
Always.
My yellow shot.
Julio is, I mean, top 5. I mean, hell, top 3, right? Prospect.
Number 2. He's number 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So give me your take on what it's like to have all eyes on you, right? Because obviously, you're a part of an organization that is very, very hungry for playoff baseball, right? And the ingredients are seemingly coming together, right? And the formulas are adding up. And it's only a matter of time now, right? But I mean, given your stature and kind of how well we're excited for you to be, what is it like to, deal with that pressure, right?
I mean, to be honest, like, I definitely think about it, but in a motivational way, instead of putting pressure on myself. Oh, I gotta get this and that done to, let's say, help them. I just feel like I was telling you earlier, like if I keep getting better every single time, I'm definitely gonna help the team to make the playoffs whenever I have the chance to be part of that team. Whenever that might be, I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna stay ready for that. But that's definitely a dream. Like as soon as I got into this organization, I started learning more about it. I started learning about like feeling from the fans, like the hunger they have to make it to the playoffs. So like that became my dream too. That became my object too. That became like something that I really look forward to and something that I work towards. So every single time that I put in the work, I was thinking of that day that I'm able to actually help the Mariners and like end that drought, because that's something I feel like everybody in this organization, like from up and down the big leagues, like onto all the way down the DSL, everybody that knows, everybody that feels like how the fans feel, like I feel like everybody works towards that. Like there is not a single player that I have talked to about it that haven't said the same thing that I'm saying right now. We all like feel like we're working towards our goal right now. I feel like we're in really good shape. I feel like I should say like all the ingredients are coming together. And I feel like this team is going to be really excited to watch in the years to come. Right now, I feel like this is a really fun team. Like every time that I get to watch the games, I actually enjoy watching them. I actually enjoy watching them. They seem that they have fun. So I'm really looking forward for that. And we're going to do it. I believe me. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, we believe you, man.
Yeah,
we believe you.
I promise.
It's just crazy right now. Like it's such an exciting time. Every reporter, everybody had the M's written down and out this year. They said they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Bad, man.
We're bad boys, man. We're bad boys, and it's just so much fun for us. I mean, we've been fans since the day I could walk, man. And we're 27, so we've never seen the M's in the playoffs really. And so we see what's being built, man. It's fun just to see. I mean, especially you said it best. You're able to be yourself, and the team allows you to do that. And as a fan, we haven't always been able to have somebody that we can see that is out there just living their best life, having a blast, doing what they're doing, and being so charismatic about it. And that's what you bring. And so you're just a fun guy. I mean, me and Max here, we were in Everett and saw you hit an absolute bomb over the batter's eye in center field, and we're like, this boy's gonna be here soon, man. It's fun. But another question I had was at the Futures game. You're sitting there, I forget who you're playing with, but you're playing the show. And somebody comes up and says, hey, you know how to play this? And you're like, of course I know how. Oh my, and it's your dad. It's your dad, man. What? No, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life, man. Walk us through that.
I was telling you, I feel like this year that'd be probably my highlight of the year, to be honest. Like, I was just literally still playing the show, just beating my friend right there. And literally, as you said, like he came from the bag. I was like, of course I don't know how to play. Whenever I saw his face, I was like, oh my God, because I was not expecting him at all. Like, they would have told me that they made up this huge plan, like from like 2 months ago, like 2 months prior to that. And I was like, oh my God. And like, you called me, I didn't even know that. And like, I talked to him, I called him and everything. I told him, yo, you gotta come because this is a really like big event. So you gotta show up. And we were talking and stuff like that because like a lot of people know that my dad was the one that got me into baseball and all that. Like he has been like really big part of like all my success and everything. So like I wanted him to be there. And when they literally said that he was not gonna come because of work and stuff like that. And like everything that they told me, it was actually something that could happen, you know. So whenever he showed up, I don't know, like that, I was like, oh my God, that was something that they really got me with that one. They really, really got me.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I know you and your dad, you guys would always be playing soft toss softball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how often you still playing softball?
I used to play. The last time I played with him, I was like last year, I think. Last year. So every time I'm in the area, I just kind of go with his softball team and kind of like watch them, like, or like they play with them. But it's actually pretty fun though. I actually enjoy time because like that softball team, they all watch me. They all were there while I was growing up. So it's actually pretty cool that I get to spend some time with them.
Well, maybe next year we came in second place in our league this year. So maybe next year you do a celebrity appearance and you help us get that championship.
Boy, would that
we ain't losing if we got J-Rod on the squad.
Yeah,
I'll play.
Julio, I just wanted to ask you who you kind of modeled your game after, or who's a guy that's playing in the big leagues right now that you kind of see like a little bit of your game in, and you can't say no one. You gotta say someone.
I don't know, man.
JD Martinez. I'll throw a softball pitch to. I've heard a lot of JD Martinez.
I don't know, man, because I feel like, let's say JD Martinez, like he can hit, but in the outfield we might not be the same, you know. Maybe like running we might not be the same. So like for me to compare myself, I don't really know now because like there might be players that they have some of my game, but they don't have like my whole game. So like there is things that maybe I can do that maybe other players can't do. Yeah. So like vice versa. So it's kind of hard though. It's kind of hard. I have asked people like, yo, like in the village, who will you compare me to? And they were like, oh, I gotta think because they say I'm big, but you can. They will say you're big, but you can run, you can hit, he can put power. So they will always just tell me like it's kind of hard. So to actually put everything like that to compare you to somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say JD Martinez. He doesn't have wheels. And Julio, I saw that video of that.
We were talking to Jason Churchill, and he says all you got to do is get the bat right. If you can get the bat right, then Julio runs better, he's faster, but and Julio's probably got a better bat than JD Martinez in the future too. So that might not be a good one.
Julio plays like Julio.
Julio plays like Julio.
You said it. You said
you're gonna be the guy that people are gonna be trying to be like. That's who you're gonna be. That's what we're excited for. But man, Julio, I know we went over a few minutes of time here. Man, thank you so much for hopping on. It was awesome getting to chat with you. Yeah, man, we're excited to see what the future holds for you. We're excited to have you on our side. If we were going against you, I know that would suck. So thank you for choosing the Seattle Mariners as your organization. And if you ever want to come back on the show, if you ever want to play softball, play golf, man, we'll go out there with you. We love to have you back.
I definitely got to get my swing right and stuff in golf.
Yeah.
So, softball, I can help on. Golf, I gotta learn.
Hey, I got you on golf. You teach me baseball, I teach you golf.
Okay,
That's great.
Cool. All right, J-Rod. Hey, well, appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you guys.
I'm gonna have a blast listening to this again because this is just the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Let's go. We just did an interview with Julio Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a multi-million-dollar baseball player in the next couple of years, dude.
The next couple of years, man. We got him, man. What a guy, dude. Chill as fuck to talk with, and just an honest, genuine man, dude.
Yeah, he seemed really happy to talk to us too. So
yeah, man.
Oh, that was fun. I wanted a little bit more out of the international signing question, though.
Yeah, that was a question on left
he couldn't give you any more.
Yeah, they were going to let him steal anything about that.
Yeah. I like that. It's an audacious question.
I wonder how that whole process works because, like, honestly, the best teams are built through, like, international signings. Like, look at all the great players.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want more Julio Rodriguez's. How do I get them?
And that's what I was like saying. It's so cool what he was saying about the Mariners being able to allow him to be who he is. And for a normal average Joe like us, we want to work at a company where we can be our legitimate selves and they're not going to roadblock us to be ourselves. Right.
Yep.
And so it's the same thing for these guys, man. They want to be in a place where they aren't restricted in any way. They can genuinely be who they are so they can have as much fun doing the game that they love and that they've loved as a kid. And it's just so cool to hear him say that and just be like, this is an organization that loves me and lets me be me. And I, in return, am going to be able to be the best me that I can possibly be because of what they're allowing me to do. And this is beautiful stuff, man.
To what Zweifel also asked regarding who he compares himself to. I knew right off the bat, like I saw him start thinking and I was like, Julio,
that was
no. I like the question. Yeah. Exactly. I like the question, but
love it.
What I love that he didn't do was he immediately like went to a player. He was like, I don't know, man. Like I know all these guys, but I'm my own self. Yeah. And at that point, I just was like, that's Julio, you're going to be like Julio. That's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters, man. Kids and players are going to be like, I want to be like Julio, man.
Right.
That's what's going to be happening. And then he's going to be that precedent that's going to be set, hopefully, as we all hope. I can't say for a fact that he is.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know all. But
amen,
gentlemen, that is the coolest interview we have had the pleasure of doing. I can't believe we got our first player is Julio Rodriguez, the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. Supposed to be the Seattle Mariners, one of their best players that they've had in a long time. And we just talked to him. We just got to pick his brain and have a great conversation with the man himself.
Well, dude, hopefully it opens the door to where they're like, players are like, oh shit, Julio hopped on the podcast.
That's why I brought up Matt Brash. That's why I was like, I got to talk about your boy, Matt Brash. I didn't know that they were locker mates, but maybe he's like, yo, Matt, we were talking about you on this podcast, and I'm gonna don't you get it twisted. I'm reaching out to Matt Brash next.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, we just talked with Julio, man, and he is an underrated guy, dude. His stuff, if you guys haven't seen on Twitter, his stuff is nasty. He's got a dirty side.
You said that because I was listening to the Jerry DePoto, the Wheelhouse. Matt Brash, he was a part of the. Well, he wasn't a part of the San Diego Padres trade, but we traded with the Padres right after that, right after the big trade that got us
Terrence, Trammell, Munoz, and all those
guys. Right after that, we sent Taylor Williams. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he closed for a little bit for us last year. We sent him for Matt Brash, who a lot of people would think is just going to be a reliever arm, but his stuff like holds at 98. Like he can go 7 innings, and he has a slider that they say is just out of this world.
Coming up, this coming week, we got 3 against the Astros, and then those should be tough. But then we get to go to Arizona, and the Diamondbacks have been awful this year. That should be something that we should be able to take care of.
Yeah. I think that's a very telling. I think that's a very telling series. How we handle that. If we don't get 2 out of 1,
No. I'm of the mindset that because of this last series, what happened,
right?
We got to be greedy. I want 5 out of 6 from the Diamondbacks. I need it.
All from the Astros and the Diamondbacks. Yes,
we played the Diamondbacks twice.
We played the Diamondbacks twice. We played the Astros twice.
Yeah, not this week. But the second time we played the Diamondbacks, your boy scored free Diamond Club seats to the Sunday game. Yeah, so me and
it's a nice little play.
A few of my buddies, we're going to the Diamond Club to watch the Mariners play the Diamondbacks, and that's gonna be the first time I sit in Diamond Club since I was like 5 years old. When I thought
it's not that I'm not excited for you, but I'm trying to chart this out here, and you really mess with my head.
You charted out there, Tiger.
We got Houston for 3. All right.
Yep. Where?
It's down. It's here.
Yep.
I want 2 out of 1, or 2 out of 1. I want 2 out of 3. Go 2-1. And then we got the Diamondbacks. And however these, we got the Diamondbacks, and then Houston again, and then the Diamondbacks again. So we have 6 games against the Diamondbacks. However these games come, I need 5 out of 6 from the Diamondbacks. And with Houston, I don't know, split 3-3 would be fine.
No, you said selfish, wife. Well, we need 4-2.
I know, but they dominate us, man.
They do. They really kick us around.
But what I'm really looking forward to is because after the Diamondbacks come back the second time, or after we play the Diamondbacks the second time, we got the Red Sox, who are our biggest, probably our biggest opponents for the wild card. And we need to be 2 games back at minimum. We can't come into that series 3 games back and you need a sweep. If we're 2 games back and we take 2 out of 3, then we're 1 game back with the rest of the season to go. Can we do one better than the Red Sox from there on out? Hopefully. But we got to be 2 games back to the Red Sox when that series comes up. And I think the way to do that is to take 5 of 6 from those Diamondbacks who suck.
Right.
Nothing.
So I agree.
I thought that was a fiery speech there.
That was fiery.
No. It was admirable.
You guys see Javi Baez and Francisco Lindor, what they're doing for celebrations now?
Thumb down.
Yeah, so they're holding up thumb downs because every time that they do something bad, the New York Mets would boo them. The New York Mets fans would boo them. And so now they're going against their fans when they do something good, and they're booing their fans to show them, quote unquote, what it feels like. And I'm like, this is such a sorry situation for the New York Mets.
Like, okay, so the Mets fans and New York fans in general
suck.
Just being, as abrasive as they are, look, it's now backfiring against you. Javi Baez is a free agent at the end of the year. You think he's going to want to come back to the Mets? No. And even though he's struggling and you don't like what he's doing, is he a player that you would want on the Mets? Yes. Well, what did you do? You ran him out of town. It's not a good look for you.
Dude, such a bad look.
Hold on. The Mets fans are booing the Mets because they've blown their first place spot.
Sure.
I'm of the mindset, and if I'm being honest here with you guys, especially with a team like a Mets that also haven't been doing well in this last several years, as a fan, if you're holding the first place spot in an otherwise, relatively competitive division, and all of a sudden you just go on a 2-3 week span where you just start losing games.
Well, hold on. I know
it's unacceptable.
They're 2 to 3 week span. I don't want to make excuses for them, but their 2 to 3 week span was 13 games against the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
We already talked about it, man. They had the toughest schedule coming up.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, man. Like,
I get what
in situations where you're presented with the opportunity to represent yourself as a contender or a pretender, and you turn out to be a pretender, and all your fan base is like, wow, we spent all this time being like, wow, this is maybe our year after quite some time, but then all of a sudden, no.
And they're in total win now mode. I mean, they went and got Lindor in the offseason, and then at the deadline, they went and got Baez. So don't get me wrong. I understand their frustration, but I mean, booing specific players is.
Oh yeah.
Me,
okay, that's understandable.
Well, I mean, you can.
I can't tell you the last time the Mariners fans have booed a specific player. I have no clue if that's happened in any recent memory of mine.
We booed. I think we booed the team this week, but it was a team. When we lost,
I stand corrected.
When we lost in the 12th inning, but I think it was after the bunt that Fraley didn't get down.
Yeah.
You say Fraley got booed,
right?
Sorry, Jake.
It's been good though. I like.
Sorry, Jake. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it is what it is. Feel free to boo them. I guess. I mean, that's a New York thing. They're gonna boo guys.
Well,
it's
exactly,
New York, man. You gotta, as a player, if you go to that New York City, whether it be on the Mets or the Yanks, you don't perform, they're gonna boo you. That's right. Just common knowledge.
You know what else should be common knowledge is a team that hasn't been to booing a team that hasn't been to a playoff game in 20 years.
What team's that?
Little team up in the corner pocket of the United States called Seattle Mariners.
Pacific Northwest, baby.
20 years.
We haven't been to the playoffs.
Talking playoffs.
Well, shit. Why are we doing a podcast then?
I don't know, man. Because it's fun.
Should we reiterate our mission statement to our listeners?
It's a podcast by the fans for the fans. I don't know what is our mission statement. Max, what is it?
Well, I can't.
You brought it up.
Spotify. No, I know you're right, but I just kind of wanted to remind people, right? Like that might on the off chance listen to this episode and say like, well, we're 5 games behind, and going 25-5 for the rest of the season is not likely, but
you don't need to though.
Right. No. Right. No, you're right. But my view on this podcast is statistically speaking, right? Like we have, if you were to do the math, and this is already a crumbling argument, but if you were to do the math, statistically speaking, the Mariners are going to make the playoffs here in the next couple of years, right? So we're here to at least do everything we can to expand
I would say next
excitement for the Mariners.
I would say next year. Okay. It's not in the next couple of years. If it's not next year, the fans will get a little impatient. I know that our plan got pushed back a little bit because of 2020 and the 60-game season and COVID. But I mean, we came out this year and exceeded expectations. So we probably should be right around where we should be because we made up that ground this year. And I love the Toro edition. We talked to Jason Churchill about some of the guys that are coming in maybe next year, possibly like a Marcus Semien, which would be huge for our second base. Add in a Charlie Blackmon, trade for a pitcher. We're right there. We have a lot of money to spend. We should make it next year.
And another guy that we already have on the team, Andres Munoz, who we got in that trade with San Diego.
Flamethrower.
Dude, yeah, he's been pitching in the pen right now, not actual pitching, like just kind of rehab pitching with coaches and trainers and whatnot. And he's reaching 99 miles an hour. But yeah, he's supposed to be pretty raw. Don't forget that we got Ken Giles. We'll have him next year as well. So we do have some of these pitchers in our back pocket already on the team.
Let's talk about what do you do with like a Steckenrider, a Sewald, Casey Sadler. I want to see these guys come back. I mean,
I did too.
As much as
I want to see Sewald come back the most, and I think that we have a chance of actually having that happen.
Yeah, I mean the fact that these guys have like all had career years at the same time. I like the fact that Ken Giles is going to be a Mariner next year, but we don't know exactly what he is. I think I know what Steckenrider is. Every time he comes in, he shoves. Sewald has been up there as a in the top of the K ranks strikeouts, that is, of all of baseball, and he every time he goes out there, he adds to his performance on the year. So I want to see these guys come back. I think our bullpen could be really good in the future. Just as you're talking, adding Munoz and
as good as it is now.
Better. It'll be better next year, dude.
Better.
Yeah. Yeah. We get Andres Munoz up.
I don't think it can be better. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think that's realistic.
It's been every single pitcher has been amazing this year. Like Sadler has like a 1 point something ERA, and it's not over like a tiny
Short
amount of
time.
innings. Like
it's proven.
It's proven. I mean, Chargot before he was traded was awesome. Great.
Chargois.
JT Chargois.
I can't get over that. I always say
Yeah. You and what's his face? He's a reporter on 950. It's actually Softy. He could not pronounce Chargois' name, and when he was like talking about JT Chargois, it's like really upset me because he's like, "Who is this guy?" And like he just
here's another thing though. I actually think there's another pronunciation, and because his nickname was Shaggy.
Yeah, because of his hair.
No, they say
yes, it was because of his hair. Scott Service called him Shaggy because of his hair, and then he got a haircut. He's
it's
like,
it's Shagwa.
It's Chargois.
Chargois.
JT Chargois.
I'm gonna lose this argument.
Yeah, you're not winning this argument. Freaking Scott Service said his nickname was Shaggy because of his shaggy hair.
He cut his hair. We trade him.
He cut his hair, and he's like, "Do I still call him Shaggy? Like, I think I still need to." And he still called him Shaggy until like
fair enough. You win this round. So, yes. You guys want to go to picks to hit because I sucked.
I didn't play.
I'm pretty sure I won with Ty France.
I didn't even add up my numbers because JP Crawford. Can we get off on this a little bit?
Yeah,
I love JP Crawford, and at the defensive position of shortstop, which is so crucial, he is amazing. But man, in clutch situations lately, I've noticed just how anemic he is with the bat, and I was expecting to when I looked into his game log over the last 10 days to have it be a little bit worse. It's not horrible. It's every now and then he mixes in a 2-hit game to kind of save it, but he has a lot of it's all or nothing with JP with the bat. He has a lot of 0 for 3s. And then he'll mix in a 2 for 3 and a 1 for 3 and then a 2 for 3, and it kind of saves his average. But I mean, in those clutch situations, he is struggling.
Yeah.
Kyle Seager, he has been struggling in those clutch situations as of late.
I think one thing to keep in mind though, I mean, especially when I think of JP Crawford in situations like that, he hits the shit out of the ball. At least from the games that the many games that I've seen where that's happened, but it just goes right to, the first baseman or the right fielder, right? Like, I think the Mariners fall victim to a lot of hitting the shit out of the ball, but right at the defense.
Maybe we swing and miss a lot though.
Yeah,
we do strike out too often, too often. Before I forget though, to bring this up, to backtrack to Viva Ty France. Viva Ty France, the South of France night was actually really funny in T-Mobile Park with everybody in that section. It was like, I forget what section it was. It was by the right field foul pole on the right on the first baseline. But they had everybody with berets. They had some people have mustaches. They had their baguette, and they even on the big scoreboard when Ty France came up to bat, they put a beret on his head and then a mustache on his face. And I was just like, this is so funny. Just totally going all in on the South of France night.
We should get some listeners from France. Hey, we got the UK guys.
We do. Actually, you know what? On that thought, I'm going to check our little website that we keep track of this. I think we've had some French listeners. I want to, let's get some shout outs to these guys. Oui. Yes. That's the only French word I know.
Parlez-vous français? Non. Parlez-vous allemand? Oui. Je m'appelle Maxwell.
Wow.
Je ne parle pas français.
What the heck, Max? You know French?
I just know those 4 or 5 statements. That's it.
Little bit of French, and I know you know German. You're just 3 languages, man. You are well ahead of most Americans.
Spanish too, I'm sure.
I have Spanish too. I definitely do.
Oh, that's right, Senor Rodriguez.
I did a little, Senor Gomez, more specifically, and I did a homestay down in Guatemala for about a month, and the family there didn't speak a lick of English, so I had no choice but to remember my Spanish, and it just came rushing back to me.
That's crazy.
to that extent, yeah, you can call me a little bit of a linguist or a linguistic person.
No, you got it right the first time.
Okay,
linguist is the right word there.
Yeah.
I think
well, they both
I'm just gonna say with confidence that linguist was the right word. I don't know which it was, but we're gonna go with that. But back to what we were saying, we do have one listener in France. So shout out to you, Frank. Your person
Merci
from France.
beaucoup.
Whatever Max just said. Yes. Shout out to you. We got the Netherlands in there. We got Norway, Austria, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and then some others in there that are listed actually as unknown. So to all y'all from the places that I just listed, let us hear from you. I'm curious how you found Monday Mojo. You're listening from very, very, very far away, but that's pretty cool. So wanted to shout that out. Yep. But yeah, Evan won. If he had Kyle Seager, he won. Seager had 17 points for pick this week.
Oh, I love it.
God
yeah,
damn.
Way to go, Evan.
Yeah. So Evan, good Lord. I came in second. So
I think he had Mitch Haniger.
I don't know.
Damn, Monday Mojo's all confused.
Yeah, it's tough when I go out on I haven't been going out on
I'm not.
lately.
I didn't play.
I haven't been going out on weekends lately, but this weekend I went out both nights, and getting ready for this episode was a little bit trickier than it has been in the past, just because I had a little bit of fun this weekend. So I'm kind of in a fog. Let's just pause on pick to hit this week. We don't know who won, and Evan's not here because Evan won, but he can't pick. So it's like, what do we do?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Kind of at a loss.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But fair. My pick to hit is the entire squad. They all have career weeks.
Yep. See, it's probably best that we do this, Soba, too, because every player that I've played for pick to hit just doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, why don't we do this? Evan has a huge lead. You got second place. Start us off. Give me your pick. I got a third place. I'll go next. And
that's understandable. What if it's better we play without Evan this week?
All right, fine. I'll go first, and I'll take. I don't want to take Mitch. I want to stay away from Mitch. Yeah, he doesn't suck. He just is. He's got some stuff that's not working for him right now.
We're gonna miss.
Seager. We'll go Seager. I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's go Seager. No real rhyme or reason, just because he did well this week. There's my rhyme. There's my reason.
All right. I don't like taking the same players every time. I'm going to take.
Well, it's just a realistic thing we have to do sometimes, but yes.
I mean, I could take Ty France. Ty France. I think I'm going to give it a max. I'm going to take Luis Torrens.
Oh, risky move there, pal. I'm going with Ty France.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
That's a good move. Any real rhyme or reasons to our reasons?
Well, no. I think this is the first time I've actually been able to afford Ty France. Ty France.
Thank God Evan's right here for you.
So I'm doing Ty France this week.
All right. There you go. Well, that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. It's another week of Monday Mojo, recorded on a Sunday, dropped on a Monday. Max, you want to say something? What do you want to say?
I was just going to say we've been lacking on saying our names. People need to know who we are. And I'm Max Schwabe.
Who are you, Chris Zweifel?
He's Chris Zweifel.
He's sitting there with a blank look on his face. He's Chris Zweifel.
And we are signing off on another Sunday. Coming to you on Monday the 30th. Have a great week, y'all. Go Mariners and stick with us. Thanks for listening.